Hi, my name is Daniel, and this is my story. At 6 years old, I was sexually molested. I was very confused after that. I didn't know what to make of that. I understood now that I was very angry. I was very frustrated, and it affected me in school. And after that, in my teens, I started getting involved with drugs, and that led me down a very dark path. And so I went from doing drugs to selling drugs and eventually transporting drugs. And that would lead me to my incarceration. And that's where I really hit rock bottom. That's where I knew that I needed to change the way I thought. I started learning about Jesus because my dad and my mom were now attending the Highlands Christian Fellowship, and they sent me a book called The Mighty Hand of God. So I started exploring this God and who He is and what He can do for my life. I went to church while I was incarcerated, both English and Spanish service. I was just wanting to be immersed. So when I came out, I knew that I wanted to be connected. Day one of me coming out of jail, I was already connected to the Highlands Christian Fellowship and wanting to serve. I started serving as much as I could because I knew this was my safe place. This was also where I met my wife. And so we got to develop a beautiful relationship. And now we've been married over 11 years and have four beautiful kids. Well, it's three and one on the way. And so now we're excited for the new season God has in our life. But we did have a time where we were rocked in our faith. And when our second child was born, he was born with a condition called cerebral palsy, and the doctors that gave us no hope. They said he wouldn't walk, he wouldn't talk, and so we were challenged. Our faith was challenged at this point, and it took a while, but we had to really know and submit this to God, and what He would do would be a miracle. So eventually, at 3 years old, my son begins to walk. His life becomes a testimony. We get to encourage people through his progress, and our faith went from being rocked to being stronger because now we see who God is in our life. And so now we are experiencing God, we are growing, we're being tested in other ways, but we are now becoming stronger in our faith with Jesus. And eventually an opportunity will come by for me to serve here at the Highlands Christian Fellowship as a connections pastor. So now my wife and I get to serve this community together. We're now involved and get to connect other people to the resources that helped me early on in life in my journey. So it's a blessing and it's an honor to be in this position that I am, and all because I went all in for Jesus and gave my life to Him.